I always had the feeling that people were always right where I wanted to be, and I wasn't. I've always felt like I had more steps to do, like I couldn't make a straight line out of my future. It would always be messy and time-consuming and frustrating and tiring. And because of that, I tend to overlook my achievements in order to work even harder for the things that I didn't have. This process of rushing doesn't allow you to appreciate what you have and why you have it. Always aiming for something greater is a strength, but can easily transform in starving for a perfection that you don't even know if you'll obtain. I think the best, but also the saddest realization I had during my university years was that I was focusing so much on perfection, almost as an excuse not to think about what wasn't working in my life. And later on, that became even clearer when everything I worked for felt hard and tiring and stressing. And when I got to see myself and how different I approached my study and my relationships, it became clearer that to really get what I wanted, I had to accept the fact that I would fail time to time. And that would not determine anything about me and my value. It made me really conscious about how negatively I talked down to myself during those times, and how the problem wasn't achieving, but how bad I felt when I started that specific thing again. And I already failed and I mentally prepared myself for the second fall. But that made the whole process even more complicated because the expectation shifted from doing better to not fail. And when you talk this way and you repeat so much what you shouldn't do, your body and your mind do it automatically. We all have expectations and they are healthy to a degree, but when it comes to be unhappy with something that didn't go perfectly, well, unexpected things are always gonna happen. We won't be able to have everything under control, and we shouldn't even try to have our hands on everything every single time. We need to give up this idea that if something doesn't go our way, that's because we didn't do enough or we didn't try enough. And yes, there will be times where that will be the reason why, but it's not always like that. And of course, there's gonna be some things completely out of our control, out of our league, but being realistic is a must to see what we can do and what is in fact just a dream. But I like to see these extreme dreams more as a not yet project. The first step for letting go of overthinking and actually move through it is by identifying what your capabilities are. And I think allowing yourself to try things, experiences, activities that you admire in others is definitely a power move when it comes to have a physical proof of what you can do or can do. Set yourself a bigger goal and then analyze what little steps you could improve and implement in your life in order to get there. And the smaller they are, the more easy it gets for you to count them as little achievements. And it becomes even easier to picture yourself getting closer to that goal. And it's only mid-process that you can actually tell yourself if something is a good fit for you or not. But when the hard thing is actually starting, there is this fear of failing because we never tried that specific thing. And to that, there's only one thing you can do: putting your shoes on. The hardest part is putting your body and mind onto the thing. It's not the thing itself. That's the only thing we have to control over, starting or not starting, because the rest is completely external. Sometimes things simply don't happen or happen and we can't do anything about it. But what we can do is behaving accordingly. When a mistake happens, what we ask ourselves is this pain gonna serve me? Is this frustration gonna make me more stimulated to do my best and be my best version, or is this gonna just put me down and make me suffer even more? And I'm sure when ruminating on something, we're not gonna feel better by punishing ourselves. That punishing doesn't bring you anything more than an unconscious confirmation that you're born to fail and you'll always do it. And that on the long run, it's gonna build up as low confidence and more stress and tension when you're gonna put yourself in the same situation again. So what is gonna happen? You'll relive everything for a second and a third and maybe a third time to the point that you're gonna give up entirely. And I know some things are just not meant for us and our skills and capability, but sometimes we're just approaching things with the wrong mindset, and that one is the one we follow when we want to tell ourselves that we are not worth it, but we really are. And you're only gonna hurt yourself if you keep repeating that you're not enough. But if you wake up and you choose to approach any obstacles that you're gonna encounter by taking it as a game, things change. You know, when it comes to your self-doubt, you can always change your mindset. But I know that sometimes what we really are afraid of is judgment by others. Because of that, our minds shift again and we become so self-aware that we feel as people are watching, are witnessing your failures, and you imagine all the things they might think about you to the point that you decide to put that thing aside. But in reality, no one is running after you. They're too busy, probably overthinking as well, or so focused on themselves that they don't have time to think about anything else. No one other than you knows your goals or dreams. You should play your life as a game. And the more you go on, the more milestones you get. Everything has to serve you as a human being. You have to do things that enrich you and your mind and your body. And if you know that what you're doing is gonna help you grow as a person, it doesn't matter if it doesn't go well the first or second time. At the end of the day, the most important thing is that you enjoy the process of creating something that will make you happy, not what others expect from you. And I wish everyone could have the instruments to see that if they feel like they're not good at anything they do, it's because they haven't found the right thing for them. And trying is a positive thing. Shifting your environment, shifting your inputs, your friends, and mostly important, how you approach whatever happens to you. Focus on detangling your emotions to train your brain to take failure as a mistake, not as a defining thing about you. Allow yourself to make those mistakes and try and learn from them and not put yourself down. There's peace at the other side of fear, and there's happiness on the other side of talking yourself down.